right, welcome everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Money Matters. And I apologize in advance to all of those who are wearing headphones when you when you listen to the opening sequence. And yes, that was a new opening sequence done by one of our amazing partners, ET Boost. We are actually currently going live on their channel. So thank you so much, ET Boost, for being a huge support for Money Matters since day one. So if you guys aren't aware, this is the first year anniversary of Money Matters. So I can't believe it. It has been exactly 365 days since I started, and I'm just very impressed that I survived this long. So thank you so much for joining today's session. It's going to be a very relaxed one. We do not have any guest speakers that we'll be interviewing today because I thought it would be a very nice opportunity for us to look back in the past 1 year and see what are the lessons we have learned personally in our financial journey, but also in terms of money matters. I think we had invited so many different guest speakers from all walks of life. We had youngsters, teenagers, we had young adults, we had people who are super successful in their careers and businesses who came and shared their experiences on how they manage their money, what are the mistakes they made, how they overcame it and became stronger. And I think every single episode not only has it taught our audiences a lot, it personally has taught me a lot as well. So thank you so much to everyone who's wishing happy anniversary. It's so funny to hear the word, but I think we, if you guys are watching, I would like to know how long have you been tuning into Money Matters? Like, is this your first time? You have just bumped into this show today, or are you someone who has been following since the first episode? Or maybe you're someone who joined in recently. And what was the first episode that you watched on Money Matters, and you actually remember? I mean, what was the topic about? You can drop it in the comments. I would love to know about what you guys think. Of course, since I'm the one hosting the show, my first episode that I recall back is, of course, the first episode of Money Matters. If you guys don't know, the first episode of Money Matters was actually called episode 1, How Do I Get Started? And it was literally about how to get started and all of that. And I shared my personal experiences on how I got started with regards to my personal finance. What are the things I started to do? How do I started tracking? How do I got a mentor and a guide to make sure I'm on the right track, and so on and so forth. So I'm very curious to know, what was your first episode? What was the first episode you guys watched? And if you recall it back, you can drop it in the comments. You probably would have forgotten which episode number it was. That is perfectly fine. But you guys can just leave a description of what that episode was about so that we can learn more from that. So today's episode, because we are gonna like just flashback, I would love to interact with all of you. And what would be even more amazing is that if you guys can help us share the link to this live stream right now, this YouTube link, or if you're watching on Facebook, you can share this on your profile or send the link to one of your friends so that they can also join us for Money Matters today. When I look back at the different episodes we had. In fact, I was looking through all 37 episodes we have done so far today, and I was like, wow, there were a lot of different kinds of experiences that we went through, and it is if you did follow all of the episodes and all of that, you would have gotten a lot of takeaways. And what I think would be even more amazing is if you can share this link with your friends and family so that they also will get the takeaways and they also will be able to improve in their financial journey. So yeah, anyone who recalls back your first episode, feel free to drop it in the comments. But I'm gonna like bring in a game. I found a new website that I absolutely love, so I'm gonna like bring that in and have some fun with you guys. And at any point in time, feel free to share some of the things you guys remember. If you had watched those episodes, drop it in the comments, and we can actually basically fangirl over the different episodes that has taken place and what we have learned personally from these episodes. So this is a wheel where I have personally keyed in all the different episodes that we have done over the past 1 year. So that is 37 episodes. It's all of it is here. Those who are on our earphones, warning, it could be loud, but we're going to go through this in a very simple way. We're going to spin the wheel, And whatever episode that pops up on the screen, we're going to talk about it. If you watch that episode, drop it in the comments so that we can have a little bit of fun with that. All right. That is a very, very long spin. Let's see. All right. Episode 26, Decrypting Cryptocurrency. I think decrypting cryptocurrency was very, very fun because before that episode I had not really talked about cryptocurrency or anything on the field of blockchain and whatnot on Money Matters, but that was the first time we actually got somebody who can share about cryptocurrency on screen in Money Matters. So it was very, very fun because I am personally someone who is still learning about it, still understanding it, and still considering whether I would want to invest in it, right? But there's a lot of people who are very excited to learn about it. So we had Mr. Siva Shekhar, who is one of the corporate partners of Ascendance called Genesis on Digital, and he shared his experience of developing blockchain technology as well as using developing some of the cryptocurrencies out there as well, and what are the things to watch out for, uh, what are the things that is great about it, and so on and so forth. So it was a very, very interesting episode. It definitely was a learning experience for me because I'm personally not that familiarized with that topic in a way. So I see a comment that says, can't remember the first episode I watched, but I enjoyed the canteen survive the canteen episode. Yes, canteen survive the canteen episode was super fun. If you guys were there, you would remember that we had Mahalakshmi from Ascendance, as well as Vinisha and Abhinaya as well. All these three people who are currently the management team of Ascendance, they are all teenagers. They are the 19, 18, and 17 years old. And they shared their personal experiences of how they have learned how to manage money as teenagers who are still going to school, but they are also going through the lessons of financial management at this age. So if you are a teenager, you can also learn how to manage money now. You don't need to wait till you're old like me to actually start learning about money. You can be like Maha, Vinisha, and Abhi to learn about their finances and whatnot. In fact, one fun fact that I can give you is that currently over this weekend, these three amazing people actually went on a trip to treat themselves for the hard work that they have done over the past years, right? And it's very amazing to see that as a youngster you are able to earn, and or you're able to work hard and get the rewards in a way. And they are able to do this because they save their money well, they manage their money well while still being students. So you can also do the same, and you can actually catch that episode, which is available on YouTube, ETBoost YouTube channel right now as well. So yeah, that was fun. If you guys recall back your favorite episode, drop it in the comments. It could be, I think there were so many episodes that took place. One of my favorites is the time I interviewed my dad on the show. So we had Mr. Kannan from TripGuard who came and shared about his experiences of running his business for the past 20 years. And he shared his experiences. For me personally, there was a very, very exciting episode because I got to ask him questions, which I don't know why I never asked him before that, but I asked it in the show, and it was so much of fun. We both had a lot of fun. So if you guys recall back your favorite episode, drop it in the comments, and I would love to see what you guys have to share. All right, so let's keep it going. I like this spin the wheel game. All right, so that was investments that every young adult should make. Do you guys recall who is the guest speaker who came on for this episode? I think this episode was done quite recently, and we had the CEO of Monster Asia. They actually run many events for students who are in colleges and universities, creating opportunities for them to start developing their skill sets and whatnot, so that when they apply for a job, they are well equipped, they have the right experiences, they have the right network and connections as well. So ZE from Monster Asia was the guest speaker for that episode, and we spoke about what are the investments young people should be making. I think currently in this age, many of us are talking about like, oh, you should invest in stocks, you should invest in um, cryptocurrency, and a lot of young people are getting very excited to go into the financial investment, which is amazing, which is very, very good, and we highly encourage that. But there are also other investments to be made, which is actually one of the most important ones is, of course, your personal development. So Z spoke about how, as a youngster, she invested a lot into her own personal development, and how that kind of like led to her becoming the CEO of Monster Asia, starting up this organization, how she has grown, the kind of connection she was able to build, and so on and so forth. So your personal development is just as important as investing into stocks and properties and so on and so forth as well. So, those of you who are watching, once again, drop your favorite episode in the comments. If you cannot recall the episodes, our admin has actually dropped the playlist link to all of our previous episodes in the chat. So if you go into our Money Matters episode, previous episode playlist, you get to see all 37 episodes in one place, just beautifully arranged for you, and you just have to scroll through and find which one really caught your attention and which one you truly enjoyed. If you're someone who's new to Money Matters is not only a talk show, it is also a book. So recently in December 2021, I published a book called Money Matters, about a guide to finance and life for Gen Zs. So this book actually shares my personal experiences of learning how to manage money, the kind of struggles I face, the kind of struggles in terms of earning money, right? A lot of us don't even know how to earn money when we step into the working world, the adult world, and how I had to learn that since I was 19 years old. And then, of course, when I work with my clients, what are the kind of obstacles that I face, and so on and so forth as well. So it has been a very, very exciting journey, which I've shared in the book about Ascendance, about simply empowering, about my mentors, the lesson I learned from them, about my clients, and all of that as well. So without further ado, I think one of the things you guys can check out is this cool video on Money Matters, and you can actually purchase the book right now, especially if you're Malaysian. The printed edition is already available. You can actually purchase the book on ascendancepro.com/the store. So check out. That I love that video. That was also done by ET Boost. Thank you so much, ET Boost, for I think doing so many amazing things for Money Matters. And yeah, you guys can get the book. The illustration was done by a 19-year-old. The editing was done by a 22-year-old. All of it is youngsters coming together to make it possible. So any support you guys can give by purchasing a copy for yourself or getting a copy for your friends, family, nephews, nieces, neighbor, random person, stranger on the street, doesn't matter. Get a copy and inspire them, but at the same time also support us in our initiatives as well. So let's get back on figuring out what are the other episodes that took place on Money Matters. Because there's 37, there's plenty to talk about, but we won't be covering all of them today, of course. Let's see. Oh my money, festive season. So if you guys are wondering why I came out with Oh My Money festive season, it was because that was the period of time where Deepavali had finished. I'm someone who does celebrate Deepavali as well as Christmas. So I'm when this period of time comes at the end of the year, that's when my pockets go nuts because I start spending money on buying new clothes or buying new food, or we decide that we should go out and hang out with our friends more. You want to reconnect with people, and you want to go for a movie, and you want to do a lot of other things during the festival. And this is the same period of time where a lot of people start to overspend and get into tough financial situations. I know people who spent more and they began to start having credit card debts that they were not able to pay off immediately. In fact, it is still taking them until now to still pay off some of the amounts that they spent back then, a few months ago. I also know some people, they would have gotten a reason bonus or something, and they would have gotten super excited to spend the money there. And then literally the next month they have a car service or some medical emergency that takes place, and they aren't able to cover those expenses because they have finished whatever money they had on celebrating. So festival seasons are a very, very good time for us to look into the kind of financial habits we have, our weak points, because that's the time we all start going crazy. We all want to be in the moment and celebrate, and we tend to lose track of our finances. So in that episode, I shared about how I make sure I don't lose track of my finances and still stay within my plan, even though I do go all out and have fun and do enjoy the period of time, but I'm still managing my finances well, and how I made that happen, how the people I work with are also making that happen. So check out that episode if that is something you face and that is something you struggle with as well. All right, so let's discuss another episode. All right, budget 2022. This was a great episode. In fact, it was quite recent. If I'm not mistaken, it was only done in January, and it was one of the best episodes ever because it is very, very informative. It was almost an hour long. But for those of you who are entrepreneurs here, or you are someone who runs a business, or you are an adult who's already earning, you got to catch that episode. You have to watch it because Mr. Krishnan from NK Associates, who was the guest speaker for that episode, broke down whatever that took place in budget 2022, and kind of shared with us what are the different things we need to take note on. Of course, since then there has been changes that has taken place. Some of the plans that they introduced in budget 2022 has been revoked as well. So do check out that episode, but after that also go and read up a little bit on what are the amendments that has taken place since then. So there is a few amendments that you should take note of, and you can just google this and find out. There's plenty of articles and videos that has been released on this topic. So Durga is here, says episode 3. Interesting. Let me recall, what was episode 3? I think episode 3 was about transitioning into adulthood. Durga, if you're there, let me know if I'm right. Episode 3 was transitioning into adulthood. It was so much of fun. We had the guest speaker Hira, who is the international singer songwriter, and she shared her experiences of how, as a youngster, a teenager, and when she started transitioning into adulthood, she started having her own job. She started having to earn and take care of her own expenses. What are the struggles she faced, the things that she did not realize she had to pay for, but she had to start paying for it. Like if you're someone who drives a car, we all think, oh, if I get a car, it'd be super cool. But we don't know that you have to pour petrol in that car to drive to a place. Or if you're like me and you live in a particular area and you want to visit your parents, it costs you 8 ringgit in toll just to go and come back home. And there's plenty of other expenses that comes in when you are an adult, which we don't really know. So if you're a teenager out there, sometimes your parents will be like, off that aircon or off that light. You think the money grow on tree, is it? Who's gonna pay the electricity bill? I don't know how many of you have gotten this dialogue from your parents before. But if you get this dialogue, don't get angry with them. Actually go and talk to your parents and ask them, you keep telling me that the electricity bill is high and all of that. Can I know what is happening in our finances? Can I know how much is our electricity bill, and how much of work you have to do to earn the enough income to cover the electricity bill? Understand finances from your parents' point of view. When we do that, a lot of perceptions will break. We'll understand where our parents come from, and we won't feel as angry as we feel when we're kids. In fact, we'll have a lot of compassion for our parents, because trust me, guys, dealing with one adult is hard enough. Dealing with an adult and like three mini people is, I'm sure, not easy at all. And I salute all the parents out there who do take care of their kids in a very, very amazing manner. All right, so that was episode 3. Very nice, Durga. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else who's watching, if you recall an episode, whichever one is memorable in your mind, drop it in the chat box. We'd love to talk to you guys about it. But while we are waiting for some of you to drop a comment on what was your favorite episode, I would also like to take the opportunity to share with you guys about something that we are organizing in March. So a few of my friends, we realize, especially one of my friends, we realized that a lot of us go into debts the moment we step into college, right? You go into a diploma course or a degree course, you get student loans. Then after you're done with your studies, you go out into work. Somebody tells you you need to get a car, so you buy a car under a loan as well. And then few years later, they're like, "Oh wow, you just got a promotion. That's brilliant. You should get a house." And then you get a house under a mortgage for 30 years. And then another car comes up, you just finished paying off your first car loan, and then they say you have to upgrade your car, you got to keep a car that fits your status. So then you get a bigger car with a bigger loan, and you keep on adding on loans after loans. Some of you may make mistakes in terms of your finances, and then you end up with credit card loans, personal loans as well. And there's a lot of issues that take place because people are not very clear or aware of what they're doing in terms of loans, how they end up in that spiral of taking loans and paying loans and taking loans and paying loans forever. So a few of us have gathered to share our personal experiences on managing money. So we are organizing a workshop on 19th of March 2022 on money management, and we have three speakers, including myself, of course, but we also have Vishnu Priya, who's a tutor and accountant, and she's going to be sharing how she paid off a 20-year loan, by the way, 20-year loan in just 14 months. So if you're curious how somebody can even do that, I'm sure most of you cannot even comprehend what I just said. She paid off almost 50,000 worth of loan in just 14 months. That's 1 year, 2 months. And she did that successfully. So she'll be sharing her experiences on how she made that happen. We also have Joyce Lim, who is an accountant. She's the CEO of Simply Empowering. She's going to be sharing about how she achieved time and money freedom. And I'm going to be sharing about the common mistakes I see people make when it comes to money management and how do you address them at an early stage so you don't go into trouble. So all of us are coming together to share our experiences on how you too can manage your finances better and how you too can lead a happy, healthy, and wealthy life as well. So if you're interested and you want to join us for the workshop, we'll drop a link in the comments with my contact details. You can actually contact me to find out more about the workshop. I'll let you guys know. The workshop is for 6 hours, and it is right now we have the early bird price at just RM 150 ringgit. So if you're interested, text immediately today, and we will sign you guys up. This promo will end on the end of January, so you do not have much time left. Sign up today if you're interested. I can assure you, you will get so much of mind-blowing lessons, because even I cannot comprehend how can somebody pay off 50,000 ringgit worth of loans in just 14 months. But somebody has done it, and they're going to be sharing their experiences with you. So make sure you guys join us for that workshop. All right. So let's see. We have episode 10. Let's see, what are the episodes that you guys like? Episode 10. Why can't I recall what is episode 10? Let me see. Episode 10, episode 10, episode 10. Episode 10. How do I track and review my finances? Yes. I think episode 10 was amazing. That was my second episode where I did it on my own. And fun fact was that it was my first time sharing screen on StreamYard and doing all kinds of fun stuff on StreamYard, and it was a very, very funny experience. I think at one point nobody could see my screen and I was freaking out. So it was a very, very nerve-wracking episode for me. After I finished the episode, I think I went and cried because I didn't know whether I did it well or not. So many times we look at people on screen and we think, wow, this person is so confident. Oh, this person is so good and that is amazing. But we don't realize that everyone does have obstacles. They go through lessons that they need to learn and all of that. And they are also probably freaking out in the background. So every single one of you who watch these episodes, who tune in, who share this link out with your friends. You have no idea how much of support you guys provide me, because each and every single person who watches this, drops a comment, sends me an encouraging text, you help me keep going, and I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for doing that over the past 1 year. And I hope you stay connected for the next year and the years to come, and continue learning about personal finance with me as well. So let's see what are the other episodes you guys have shared. We have episode 35. All right, so I think episode 35 was about canteen, survive the canteen as well. That was a super fun episode. I think all the Gen Zs love that episode. uh it was so much of fun, because we had three teenagers come and share their experiences, and everyone was like, you mean I can do this now? I don't need to wait till I'm 20 something to do this. So if you was a teenager and you watched that episode, I hope you have started tracking your expenses, doing something with regards to your personal finance. But if you have not, and you want somebody to guide you, contact me as well. We will love to get you guys started on your personal finance journey. Yes, I see a lot of fans for the canteen, survive the canteen episode. So I see another comment on my favorite episode is the kick the budget episode. Kick the budget is an episode that made everyone go crazy. I think the title, Kick the Budget, I think it has a poster of me doing this. Is so memorable that most people remember the poster and the caption and the title for that episode. And it was a third one where I did it on my own. In fact, today is the fourth one. So since then, this is the first time I'm going alone again. And in that episode, we talked about how you guys can set a budget for yourself, how a budget works, why is it so scary, how can you make it less scary for yourself. So if you're someone who knows you should start budgeting, but you have not started budgeting, or you start budgeting but you're horrible at budgeting, or you know budgeting is good for you but you're so scared to do budgeting. If you're someone who is going through these emotions, check that episode out. We'll talk about how you can handle those emotions, and at the same time, if you need somebody else to guide you on it, seek the help. Find the people who will be able to help you manage your emotions so that you can take action. Most times we are like, I want to do this, oh no, it's hard, and then we stop. Instead of stopping, keep going, keep finding the right person to guide you on it, and then you will go a very long way. And I think we have another vote for episode 5, how money affects my emotions. So we have the link for the playlist in the chat. So if you're someone who just tuned in, you want to look back at our previous episodes, you can actually go and click on that link. And while watching this on YouTube, you can actually scroll through the playlist to see what was your favorite episode. Episode 5 was indeed memorable. It was about emotions, how money affects my emotions. We had the founder of Nyonya Caroline Art Alive, which is basically Nyonya Caroline, and she shared her experiences of how emotions affects how she manages money, how her emotions, if they are good and she's feeling confident and focused, she's able to earn money and make things happen in her finances. But if she goes into the fear zone, or a very she's very scared or very stressed or very angry at people, then same situation reflects on her finances. Her finances also start dropping, and they also become very angry in a way. So how our money affects our emotions, and how our emotions affect our money, is something we don't really notice or recognize. And it's something you should definitely learn about. So if you're someone who is easily angry, like every day you're angry inside, I was a very angry child last time. So if you're someone who is very scared all the time, you have anxiety and all of that, or if you're someone who is super happy and you just want to spend money on everything, you're also not a good good idea. So if your emotions are very high and you find it hard to manage them, you should check that episode out, because Caroline is someone who has learned a lot on how she can bring them under control and manage your finances better by doing so. So thank you so much for sharing that, guys. Keep dropping what are the other episodes you have watched, what are the other episodes you enjoy watching, and I would love to hear more about it. Let's see. As you're doing that, I think one more thing that we would like to share about, I think we mentioned it earlier, the book Money Matters, where we talk about emotions, like how we mentioned earlier, and transitioning into adulthood, and how as a teenager you can start managing your money. All of this actually is written in the book, Money Matters that I wrote and released in December 2021. So you can actually get a copy of that book if you're interested. And you just have to scroll up the comments, and it's already out as well. You can purchase it on ascendancepro.com, and you can get a copy of that. Episode 29, Financial Literacy for Children. Yes, episode 29 was amazing, right? So I've been looking for somebody to come and talk to me about how kids can manage finance and how parents can teach kids to do this. So we had Miss Carmen Chuang, CEO of MMC Lifestyle, Health and Lifestyle, and she actually shared how she trained her kid since young to manage finances, how she'll ask the kid to write in a book, how when they go on trips to different countries, she will give the kid a certain amount of money every day, and how the kid needs to learn how to manage within those finances. It was a super fun episode. I think we had learned a lot as how parents can actually educate their children on money management. And this is something she started when her kid was just like 4 or 5 years old. So doesn't matter how old your kid is right now, you can get started already. So if you're a parent who's watching, do check out that episode. It was amazing. I think we see some votes for episode 11 and 12 as well. I think 11 was about investments, common mistakes made, and episode 12 was sustaining your business through highs and lows. So episode 11 is one of my favorite speakers, Mr. Kim Tan from MIR Maju. Kim Tan is a very, very successful entrepreneur. He has gone through life and he has so much of experience, and he shared about what are the investments that he made and the mistakes he made in those investments, and what are the lessons he learned from them. So if you're someone who keeps going into the wrong investment, like your friend comes and talks to you about one thing, they sell it to you so well that you decide to invest some money in it, and the next thing you know, it turns out to be a scam. Or you decide you want to invest into this stock and immediately you lose money. So there's a lot of things that can go wrong with investments because they are risky. It's inevitable. But there's lessons to be learned from it. So if you're someone who's struggling to see the lessons, you should definitely check out that episode, because I think Kim Tan shares his personal experiences of how he learned from it and became better out of it. And of course, episode 12 was the episode again, once again, that featured my dad, Mr. Karan, on how sustaining your business, it is a lot of effort. There's a lot of things that needs to be done. There will be highs and lows in your business. There are years your company will do so well. There's years your company won't do so well. And what are the habits you can have in place so that when you hit your lows, you are still able to survive. I think the pandemic, COVID-19, 2020 till now, has been a low for many organizations. And those who had good financial habits, those who saved money up during the good times, and those who did not lavishly, like pledge to like 10 loans during the good times, they are actually surviving during this pandemic. So how you can set the right habits in terms of your finances for your business, you should definitely check that episode out. So thank you so much, guys. I think all of you are dropping so many amazing comments on the different episodes that you have watched. It really means a lot to me that you guys are sharing this. We all can learn from each other and from these different episodes. You can also share the playlist link with your friends and family so that they too can watch and catch up. A lot of people will say, good job, you're doing a great thing and whatnot. And but at the end of the day, the mission of Money Matters is to educate people on your finances and make you a better person in terms of managing your finances. So what would be even more amazing is if you can get a friend, a neighbor, or family member to start watching Money Matters together with you, so that you guys can together learn about finances. All right. So there is a lot of exciting events coming up. In fact, Money Matters will be back again next week. And next week's episode is going to be at a different timing. Unfortunately, we would not be going live at 3 p.m. on Sunday next week. We'll be going live slightly earlier because Money Matters has the wonderful opportunity and honor to be featured in Ascendance Carnival. So Ascendance Carnival is the 24-hour live stream organized by Ascendance, and in these 24 hours, you get a view into the various events that is taking place in Ascendance. It will take place from 29th of January on Saturday at 3 p.m. until 30th of January 3 p.m. as well. This is Malaysian time, GMT plus 8. And Money Matters is going to be the first few shows that kick off this whole live stream. So we are going live on 29th of January at 4 p.m. GMT plus 8. So for my Malaysian friends, it's at 4 p.m. on Saturday. You guys can tune in, and we are going to be talking about ESG investing. If you're someone who doesn't even understand the title, it's perfectly fine. But ESG is something that is being talked about a lot in the investment world right now. A lot of people are having conversations about how you can bring in ESG into your company so that it continues to remain relevant to the young out there. A lot of companies are losing loyalty or favors from the younger generation because they are not complying to ESG. If you're wondering what is ESG, it stands for environmental, social, and governance. So by actually applying and bringing these three things into your organization, you will continue to remain relevant, and more people will be keen to invest in your companies. But how is the world doing this? How are the companies out there bringing ESG into their organizations? And how some of us here in Ascendance and ETIDs are doing it is a bit different. So we have none other than one of the chief advisors of ETIDs, as well as founder and CEO of Globe Consultancy, Ms. Vasula Krishnan. She'll be sharing her personal experiences of how they have managed to successfully incorporate ESG into their companies, which do things like training, that companies that do accounting, companies that do website development. These are normal, regular companies that provide normal, regular services, but they have successfully brought in ESG into their companies. So, how they have managed to do it, Ms. Walsla will actually be sharing her experiences. So, for the youngsters out there, you're a teenager, you're a student, that is the future. All the companies in the future will need to adapt these models. You have to definitely catch that episode. If you're an adult, you're an entrepreneur, you also need to adapt as soon as possible to these principles in a way so that your company continues to remain relevant in the years to come. So if you're watching, if you're free next week Saturday at 4 p.m., tune in to this Money Matters episode. It is going to be truly amazing. All right. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. Ascendance Carnival is going to be great. You can tune in for the whole 24-hour live stream and, of course, join the Money Mentor segment. And we have a lot more exciting episodes coming up in February. In fact, we have a surprise for you in February episodes, which we'll reveal in next week's episode. All right. So thank you so much once again for watching Money Matters today. And I wish you guys a very good Sunday afternoon. See you guys next week.